All
Well,
right.
shall we?
Yeah.
Shall we do it?
Move on to the meat.
The biggie, the big kahuna,
Yeah.
the royale with
Yeah.
cheese, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of
Getting
the
into
metrics.
arguably Tarantino's most popular or most acclaimed movie, I'd say. Definitely the one that put him
Yep.
on the scene. If Reservoir Dogs didn't do that enough. But yeah, Pulp Fiction, 94. Yeah, Alex, what's your base level enjoyment of this movie at this moment?
At this moment, well, this month alone, I've seen it 3 times. So, I mean, I'm still riding at a solid 10 of just, I vibrate when I watch it. So, it's a
Wow.
good time.
Wow.
Yeah,
Overcome with.
no, I love this movie. If I was an insane person, which I know I might be, I would say my top 10 movies, 9 of them are Tarantino's movies, just because. But since I want to be like, that guy who's like, oh, I'm not going to pick the same director and writer for all my favorite movies. So I split it up, like a normal person.
Mhm.
Just to be fair to other filmmakers.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right. But yeah, no, I love Pulp Fiction. I mean, every time I watch it, I get like more appreciation out of certain aspects of it, and it just, I don't know. Every watch is a new experience in its own way. And I don't know. I don't think it'll ever get old for me. So
Is
Nice.
there anything I don't know in these last three watch throughs that you pulled out a little bit more appreciation
well,
for?
there's there's this doing some reading on Letterbox. I came across some guy's review. I don't know if you guys read people's reviews on Letterbox,
Do
but
sometimes.
there's
I
a really
still haven't
long
gotten
one.
around to getting one.
You should,
You'll
man.
break
Yeah, I
soon.
It'll change
know.
your
I
life.
I fucking should.
But he wrote something that's really interesting. His other takes on most movies are bad. This person who wrote this review, but his take on Tarantino, I thought it was pretty interesting. So I took that away from my latest watch through, but before that, it was just I don't know. It's just more of like it's like when I rewatch Breaking Bad, I pick a character and I kind of just hang with that character and see what I can get from their storyline. So like my last watch through Breaking Bad, I was like trying to sympathize and empathize with Skylar's character the most and see where she's coming from. So like the second to last time I watched this, I was with Butch, and seeing what his side of things. Because I don't know, for some reason, I know Butch's character is like the biggest, but it was just such a smart thing for Tarantino to put Baby Butch, Christopher Walken. He comes in, talks this elaborate story about this watch, and it just then it flips to Butch's story, and you're like, why did I just spend 5, 8 minutes with Christopher Walken talking to Baby Butch? But it pays off because that's how important the watch is. This long story of how meaningful this thing was to
I
Butch's
had this watch my
family.
ass for 11
Yeah,
years.
Yeah.
but it's like this. It just
The
seems
old
so
prison
silly,
curse.
but it's so perfect in terms of like setting the tone and setting up the next domino to fall. I don't know. It was great. I
Yeah.
loved that aspect of it. Great writing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
I feel that because like I said, I kind of like I don't know why like his storyline like just completely was lost in my head the first watch through, and now
that's crazy.
it's
Yeah.
not it's definitely I don't know why, but it was definitely like the most other than probably Travolta and Samuel. It's like the most encapsulating like storyline
Yeah.
and character in the movie. Um, yeah, and I loved like the way I mean the story structure of this movie is like amazing. Obviously, I feel like it inspires so much more after it and like open people's eyes to like what you can do like jumping around storylines and kind of like uh writing characters and writing story in that way. Um, so I don't know. It's like conversation like near the end of the diner with Travolta and Samuel, and how Samuel is kind of, his character's Jules is like talking about retiring and getting out of the game, and then we kind of like and Travolta's character the whole time is like deep in the game. I feel like he's kind of like committed to it. So like when he gets blown away by Bruce Willis' character, I don't know that like resonated to me because I was like, oh, Jules like he's seen enough. He's like he had that divine
Saw the
intervention
sign.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the
He
sign
got
like
out.
that's so many like levels that and things that line up in this movie beautifully because of the structure and how well it's written. That
Mhm.
yeah, I could sing this. I could sing praises for days after
It's
this for watching it again.
it also like just the little character moments that are in it too, like Mia and Vincent. My favorite movie scene is the diner scene where they dance, like just that whole
That's so good.
dancing moment, because like they start this awkward conversation and then they dance, which is a super vulnerable thing, and then after that it's just kind of butter, and
Yeah.
so they get back to the house and he's like, is that what you call an awkward silence? She's like, I don't know what that is, because there's this kind of obvious romance in the air. I don't It's great. It's great character
The whole
moments,
time
great
he's trying not
stories.
to
Yeah,
go too
you're
far
gonna go
with her, or
home,
else he's
jerk off,
gonna.
and that's all you're gonna do.
Yeah, I love that he is so focused on playing it smart and to not die through all that story, and then
Right.
what you see later happens like the next day or 2 days later is that he just gets fucking owned in the
Yeah.
bathroom. Like, yeah, it's very it's a very like different ending for a character, I'd say.
Yeah. At that point, I don't know, because I haven't seen this before. I was kind of just like, what the fuck? Like,
Right. Yeah. Like, when am I? I mean, I remember watching this the first
Yeah.
time and like having to like put a lot of like things together in your head, after
Yeah.
after the fact. But I will say like the watch throughs after the fact really do help you kind of like piece the little strings together in nice ways.
I think that's
This is
why
definitely
I had
rewarding on rewatch.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely like that's why I had resonated so much more on this one, just because I was like so much easier. There's less confusion. I could track everything, like just based on where Jules and fucking Travolta's character. Oh, Vega, like just like where their clothes after they shoot Marvin and they're in the fucking like basketball shorts and shit. It's just like everything tracks after the first watch through, and it's
Mhm.
yeah, it's a fun
I mean,
experience.
maybe I do have to watch it again. I mean, I'll admit I liked it. And yeah, I mean the structure is great. Or I mean it's good. To be honest, I was a little underwhelmed. I mean, from looking it up, I guess like in seeing why this movie was like as popular as it was, it seems like it's because of the structure.
Mm.
And maybe it's because I've seen other movies with like, I don't know, weird timeline structures. And I mean, it was good. I'm not saying it was bad. I guess I just, I don't know. I think it comes back to that thing where it's like, just because you're the first person to do something doesn't make you the best at it. I'm not saying this isn't the best, but like, I don't know. I feel like that's I don't know, the general rule of thumb.
I think
Yeah.
people,
Be a factor.
I think that experience is probably what a lot of people have with this movie, which is because I wrote down the note, is the structure what makes this thing truly explosive and new and fresh? And I'd say a vast majority of percentage of why this is considered revolutionary is that. I'd say the entertainment factor is what really packs the punch at the end of the day. But I think like even I went into when I was a young man, when I was like Pulp Fiction, I gotta watch that movie. I was like, what? It's like, why is
youngster.
that? Yeah, but it's like you do have the question of like that was it, like I don't know. At least I did. In the coming years, I've come back to it and realized the magic of it. But I get what you mean totally. That like I don't know. There's and to me moments of this movie dip into like good, not great, and it's really only like a 20-minute section of the movie for me, strangely. So like because
Is
the
it Butch
opening.
and Fabby for you? Or?
No, I actually really like that storyline. When the first time I watched it, I didn't care for that storyline at all because there was obviously
that's usually the weak
poppier
link.
stuff.
Yeah.
But and the more I come to it, I like that storyline a lot more. It's strangely, it's the I love the opening. The opening is fucking fantastic. I mean,
It's electric.
it's great. And then the line at the end of that scene is fucking something to behold, I'd say. Yeah, but anyways, after that, it immediately goes into the Royale with cheese conversation, and that's I immediately feel the movie dip. Like
Really?
every
okay.
single time I felt it just like and it's just because I don't like care about I don't know, their conversation goes to like 6 different it goes to like TV pilots and like
It's when they're walking up to the first person's apartment, right?
yeah, it's too
See,
long.
I also
and
had a
it's too
question
boring and
about
it's-
that like sequence. Because like that's one of the shots where it's like through the doorway and they like walk up the stairs, walk past the door that they're going to go in, and then walk through the doorway and have a conversation, and then they walk back through the doorway to go into the apartment. And I just wondered why they why that was
finish
necessary.
finish their conversation.
I didn't know.
I guess.
Maybe that's the only thing I could get out of it.
Just,
but like,
not right outside the door.
I just thought it was kind of weird. I didn't know if it was just for the doorway shot. Like, I don't know.
I mean, that's definitely a factor. I would say for sure.
Interesting.
That scene, like, I don't know. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just weirdly like that's what like drew me into Vega and Jules' characters, because like, oh, these guys are just kind of like, this is the shit they shoot the shit about. They're hitmen talking about fucking a royale, like, you know, how a foot rub means something but doesn't.
Right.
You know, like,
For sure.
so yeah, it just like grounded them for me. So yeah,
It does
agree.
that for sure.
And it like sets up the Mia, obviously, that storyline with Vincent and him, and you know, the whole idea of how he's got to tiptoe, and you know, the last guy who took Mia out or touched her feet got thrown out of a 4-story window. But anyway,
they do.
So I don't know. I just but I just feel like like what Noah said. It's just kind of like brings you into the characters and kind of you're just hanging out with them. It's kind of like a bro moment where you're just kind of like talking, shooting the shit.
Mm-hmm. I guess that scene is
literally talk about whatever, and it's
right.
Yeah, for me it was interesting,
and that's what Tarantino dialogue is special for, is that he's gonna talk how normal people talk, in quotes, you know, or like talk about stuff that people actually talk about, which is that's cool. It's that scene coupled with the next few though, that whole 20-minute chunk where it's like the tyranny of man's, like, it's a great speech, and I'm not trying to say it's bad. It just doesn't like lead me to like entertainment in the way that some others do, I guess. Like, because even going into the next scene when they go to the bar and it's just the speech to Bruce Willis, I like that speech a lot more this watch through. Even though Ving Rhames' audio is very weird in this, I noticed this time. Only on the speech.
That's pride fucking with you.
Yeah, I love that. I love that line.
That's good.
But it just doesn't. I wish it was more. I don't know. Something about these like scenes don't give me enough. And then once Vincent Vega goes to buy the heroin, the movie immediately like sets a tone and pace that never lets up after that. But it's just like that. I don't know. That chunk for me just never really works as well as I want.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. It was that way on the first watch through, and it's been that way. It's definitely improved, and I see why people love some of those moments, because the divine intervention moment is one of the most fun bits of writing that I would hope to put into some of my stuff, where I can like call to like events that are like ethereal that the characters will interpret. And you know, and that's just a fun writer attempt to like give, I mean, what's the Jules? Yeah. Give Jules like a path, you know, literally. So
yeah.
So there's moments in these scenes that I really love, but it's just like the overall chunk of it. I don't know.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess
I was just gonna like move in the direction of like the Mia stuff. Fuck, man. And with like, I haven't seen Kill Bill, but maybe the first watch through of this, like, she didn't stick out to me as much, but this one for sure too. She's awesome. Like her and like Travolta, their whole thing, especially like the OD scene later. Like, that shit's like, it's scary, and then it kind of like gets comedic and goofy when they're trying to figure out the adrenaline shot and everything.
So I gotta stab her 3 times.
Yeah,
I did really enjoy that.
I noticed this time too that there's the board games Operation and Life stacked off to the side in one of the shots.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah,
that's just a fun little bit. I thought also Eric Stoltz, the guy who plays Lance, he's fucking great in the movie.
He's really good. Yeah. He
brought the tone of that scene.
Yeah. Like, I forget. He's like,
the day I bring an OD and bitch to your house, that's when I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, I love that.
Like when he's also dragging me out of the car, and Vincent's talking to him like, "Hey, man," and then the guy's like, "You got to get out of here," and he just drops me on the ground. He's like, "Listen," and it's just, I don't know, it's so good.
Yeah.
I love Uma Thurman. I think she's like, I don't know what happened, why she didn't pop off, but even in Kill Bill, she's like, the bride is one of the best female action characters, I think. You know, everyone's like, oh, Sigourney Weaver, or who's that other one?
And like, yeah, I feel like there's no comparison. I mean, to
Terminator,
like,
bitch.
I don't know, like
Ripley.
Alien.
No, that's
I don't know,
Yeah,
man. I feel like
Thinking
there's
like
no
Charlize
comparison
Theron,
between
maybe.
the Bride and like a fucking Ripley. I don't know.
I see.
The
I
Bride
think
is
she's a
such a
badass, but like,
badass.
but yeah, the Bride's got
yeah,
a lot of shit going on, I'd say.
I don't know.
She's such a more compelling story. We'll get there when we get there, but
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know. I love Uma Thurman. I love her in this. I wish she was in more. Is what I'm getting at there, but yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
that would be interesting to
yeah.
find out. Like, what happened to her career? I don't know. Does she still do stuff? Did she do anything after Kill
think-
Bill? Like, I don't even know. Like,
I mean, she's in the house that Jack built for like 5 minutes, and she's also in like Necromania or Necrophiliac or something, and Necrophiliac 2 and shit like that. But
Just some
Yeah.
dark ass shit. No.
yeah, but yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, I mean, also in that vein, I thought John Travolta, he kills it in this role. Obviously,
I definitely
Yeah.
thought so too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like you were saying earlier, Alex, you were talking about the scene where they like have their little awkward conversation and then they get up to dance. I'm just like, yeah. I mean, this is like perfect for John Travolta. Like, I don't know, the weird fucking dance shit,
Goofy,
either from
yeah.
like Grease or Saturday Night Fever. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
Oh, yeah,
he was perfect
sure.
for this. I feel like, you know, like.
and
Definitely.
he's doing some weird like eye twitchy stuff in his performance. Like he really like goes all in for like the heroin
Definitely.
like performance in a way that's like, wow, that seems like it's true. You know, like
Has this guy done heroin before?
right, he gets like really
Yeah.
slurry and like
Yeah.
loose in that character. It's pretty fun to watch.
Speaking of heroin, I don't know. Did you guys get all the Breaking Bad callbacks to this? Like the inspiration that Vince planted in the Breaking Bad
No.
with, I mean, obviously the heroin when he's doing it with Jane, that whole get up,
Mhm.
and then when Jesse's trying to break in the Fly episode, and he's going through all the stuff, and he picks up like a bat, puts it down, picks up a crowbar, puts it down, picks up a.
Oh,
Jesse
I've
does
never
that,
seen
you know, and
Yeah.
then there's one more I'm trying to think of.
Cool.
I had it, but oh well. Oh, the clothes thing where they in the first season, like the first episode, and they're in the pools and they're washing each other down, all the blood, and then they end up wearing these goofy ass outfits.
Mm.
It's just
Yeah.
I see.
little stuff that Pulp Fiction has gave to the world.
The reverberations throughout
Yeah.
culture. Tarantino, yeah, it's like well known. That's his thing. Hollywood
Yeah.
culture. Yeah.
Lives
Yeah,
and breathes it.
I was wondering in this movie too, because this movie is actually co-written by someone else too. His name's Roger Avery.
Yeah.
But they had like disputes about who was going to be credited as like the sole writer, and Tarantino won out eventually to say he was the sole writer. But this movie does feel like it has like a slightly different voice than a lot of Tarantino's other works for me.
I've kind of felt that
Yeah.
too, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I wonder like
mean,
who is who kind of in this movie, in the writing of it a little bit too. Yeah, you can definitely feel Tarantino in it heavily, but like it's like I'm curious what the push and pull was.
Yeah.
Even in some of the cinematography, I feel like was like not typically what you would expect. Like there was some shot, especially like I think mostly I noticed in Butch's storyline, like some of the shots. Well, I mean throughout, but like when he's getting chased by Ving Rhames and like I don't know, the one shot specifically I'm thinking of is like when he's behind the corner and you see like down the alley kind of. I don't know, that shot stood out to me. I was like, this is cool. I don't. Yeah, it seemed different. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was just curious. Some
I definitely feel like what you're saying with the writing, it's just a little bit more toned down, I'd think, than his other ones in terms of, I guess, the silliness. I don't know if that's the right word, but
Maybe.
it's
I kind
more-
of agree though, because
Yeah.
like there's like weird like I don't know in like later movies of his. I don't know. He's got like for instance in Kill Bill, there's like weird fucking zoom ins with like music and shit like that.
Fuck,
Like
yeah.
that's
Oh,
like
like
that's like the
zooms.
Tarantino-esque shit that like wasn't in this. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like the
Yeah.
dialogue all seems like it's him, but like you know there's that like weird quirk factor that like I feel like wasn't there. You know?
Mm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
There's some moments in this movie with like editing like fades that just go right to the next moment, and like little jokes with like them putting on their clothes and stuff, and it's like I wouldn't say it's like conventionally good like filmmaking, but it like works. And like the square that she draws on the screen,
Oh,
Fuck
that
yeah.
just is like so. I mean, it's fine, but it's a rectangle. But
aren't rectangle squares?
technically,
think
right?
so.
For getting into geometry.
I think a square is a rectangle.
Squares are rectangles.
Oh, is it the other way around?
I But anyways,
Sure.
yeah, these
Same
moments,
diff.
I don't know, they're definitely like Tarantino, like kind of chiseling his like own style, I'd say a little bit more and early.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, and the structure definitely like lends itself to that for sure. Like the dissolves and the
Mhm.
some of that experimentation, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe at some point over the course of this director's dive, I'll rewatch it and see if I have any. Because it's not like I didn't like it. I mean, I enjoyed the movie. I guess I just, I don't know. It just didn't live up to my expectations, if that makes sense. You know
That'll
what I
happen.
mean?
That's
That
fine.
will happen.
Yeah. I think that's
It's
totally
it's
fair.
definitely, like I said, the rewatchability, because the first time I watched it this month, I made my mom watch it because she's always ragged on it and said that it's a shitty movie essentially and that it's unbearable. So I told her, hey, we're watching it. And so I sat her down, strapped her so she couldn't move, and we watched it, and she actually liked it more this time rather than her original. So,
Mhm.
like, she actually
Okay.
said it wasn't bad. So, and she's only said that about like one other Tarantino movie. No, it's only one other Tarantino movie. So,
Wow.
Which one?
yeah, Django.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Interesting
Man,
pick.
all right.
Yeah, that one's just too funny and too enjoyable to not be like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It's the perfect movie.
Yeah.
You know, it's yeah.
So good. Yeah.
I made a note in this one, as much as I love the Butch storyline, and I think his chick forgetting his watch might be like the most like relatable or human moment in the whole film.
Absolutely.
Like it's like
Out of all the fucking things I told her not to forget, she forgets my watch.
yeah, I specifically
Yeah.
said the words, "Don't forget my watch." Like, don't forget my father's watch. Like, the potbelly dialogue is a moment where I was just like, "What the fuck?" Is like,
Yeah.
That's Tarantino.
Yeah, that
being
was
a
kind of
freak.
weird.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
I get being like cutesy relatable when nobody's around or whatever, just being weird, but like shit, man, that's a little too weird. For
all
me.
the
Yeah.
all the like baby the names like what's up
So
lemon
many
pie
cute
or
names.
sugar pop or whatever.
Yeah,
Honey
right.
bunny,
Honey bunny.
Bunny.
lemon pie.
I don't know. I mean, like, I have
Yeah.
like heard like Tarantino has like a foot thing, and like there was like the foot stuff in, like you were talking about earlier. Maybe he's got like a
Yeah.
pot belly thing too. I don't know. Like,
He's
Man,
a weird
I don't
dude.
fucking know.
He's a weird guy.
Yeah. Sex drive through the roof.
Yeah, I don't know.
Shit.
Also, the
So Matt,
music too.
did this watch through bring your enjoyment up or?
I think it's still at where it's at. That's 4.5 stars for me. It's supremely entertaining, I'd say. Yeah, I don't know if I'd find it to be like his best work still, but I find it to
Tough.
be.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's hard with Tarantino's movies because it's like I've loved that movie. You come out of it feeling so entertained, and you can't really find like what is wrong with it, but like,
Yeah.
I just don't find. I don't know. I guess I'm just like missing something in his work a little bit, somewhat, but I don't know because I respect him for what he's doing. It's not like I think he should be doing something else either. So
How did you
That's fine.
guys feel about like his scenes, Tarantino scenes, when they get to like his house and they're figuring out the Marvin situation?
See, I don't get the whole he's bad at acting thing because I think that's just the character just being over dramatic and being what he is. So I mean, I don't have a problem with it.
I actually
mean,
like him in the role.
yeah, it's not bad.
I
I
think
thought it
it.
was fine. I don't know.
I didn't mind it.
I
Yeah.
didn't see anything wrong with it. I don't know.
I think it might have
Do
helped.
people
his
shit on
case.
like his acting? Like, is that a normal thing? Like,
I think it like
That's the
throws
main gripe
people.
I've seen with people
Yeah.
like neckbeards on Reddit. When they're like,
gotcha.
I
John,
think
or
it somewhat takes you out of the
Tarantino's-
movie a little
I
bit.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I
Yeah.
mean, if you didn't know if it was like, if you didn't know it was him, then I mean, like, yeah. But like,
Maybe.
for people who do know it's him, I mean,
Yeah, right.
I could see it taking you out of the movie. Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
also feel like it would have helped his case for him the next questioning of his 20 years of his life of like what type of man he is. It would have helped him
Yeah.
if he just didn't cast himself in this role specifically. Just
Yeah,
because he wrote
definitely.
the words for himself to say. To me, there's like a level of like, why? I don't know. But
Yeah.
and also like with that character, why is he so inherently racist? When his wife is like black, it shows in like the dream sequence of her coming home. She's like an African American nurse. So like,
Yeah,
why is
I did.
this
I did wonder
guy?
that a little bit too.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of a disconnect with the character for me, a little like in what he's doing, but
Yeah,
he's fun. He's a fun character.
yeah. I guess you could chalk it up to him being just overwhelmed and angry, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Like you said,
Yeah.
it is weird that his wife is a black lady.
Yeah, it's
he's
just
throwing
Classic Bonnie.
the hard R out.
Huh.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Don't Jimmy me, Jules. All right.
Also, the wolf, great character that comes
Yeah.
in like
Ugh.
towards the end of the movie, you know, and just kind of like reinvigorates what little is left in the movie to like be something special too.
Yeah.
Yeah, has that effect on Jules and Vega.
Yeah,
At, near the end, it's like respect. You see,
yeah,
it's
I just love
respect.
to see him
like,
work.
yeah.
That's fun. And I
Yeah,
mean,
What?
yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Go ahead.
It's fun that Tarantino also in his writing, he leaves like little trails of breadcrumbs in his writing to his like past work or to other characters. Like Vincent Vega is straight up whatever the Vega brother is in Reservoir Dogs. That's
Yeah.
in canon his brother in the universe. That's cool. I mean, but also like the wolf could be the Reservoir Dogs character for Harvey Keitel. It's like if he just switched the name almost, and it's like the same character a little bit, and like he does that for the Hateful Eight. That character was started as Django, and he just kind of
Yeah.
like brought the character a different direction. And it's like you can still feel the roots of like other
Same
Tarantino
with
characters.
Kill Bill. She's buried in Schultz's grave, and you got Schultz from
from
um
Django, right?
yes, Django. I
Yeah,
forget
he's
that,
got
yeah.
he's definitely has huge lore pulls for characters a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah, but it's
It's
just
great.
it's cool. Like, and he's calling Joe too, the wolf.
Yeah.
And Joe's, and it's like it could almost be the same time that Reservoir Dogs is happening, almost like.
Yeah. Definitely.
That's pretty cool. I feel like that might like come off cheap, probably with like any other director, you
Mhm.
know, but not smart.
It's
definitely smart.
a fun universe, you know, and I don't know, and like how his writing is, it's just like a bunch of hangout movies, or can be. I guess some of them you don't really want to hang out, but you know, this one, I don't know about Hateful Eight, but like it's the other one, Once Upon a Time, you know, just kind of a universe you want to hang out in and just have a good time,
Yeah.
chill.
Yeah, transport you a little bit.
Did you mention Tim Roth at all?
No.
I mean, he is definitely a different character
Oh yeah.
than in
Yeah,
Reservoir Dogs, I
100%.
guess I would say.
I like him as like one of Tarantino's guys too. He brings like
I do too, yeah.
a certain
Yeah.
like lackadaisical kind of like approach to his. I don't know. He's fun to like. He gets into him.
Garcon, coffee. Garcon means boy. And he
Yeah.
just smiles.
Yeah. But the soundtrack of this movie too, I think, is what like makes it super impactful. The opening, once the chick like screams out, "Nobody fucking move," or "I'm gonna kill every last one of motherfucking one of you," and then it just goes right into Miserlou. It's like I don't know. It's just such a solid opening in this movie, you know.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, then it just bookends it perfectly. I mean, that last scene with the two of them, Honey Bunny and Pumpkin, and like confronting. It's funny too because in the opening scene, I realized he's like, you could cut down on the hero count in a place like this, you know, like.
Yeah.
And then little as you know, the two heroes of the story are sitting like a few tables
Right.
away. You know, it's just
And
like a fun little.
did you see Vincent walking to the bathroom in the first scene?
I actually missed it, yeah, but
Oh no,
Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
that's cool.
it's cool too. Yeah,
Yeah,
just
that's
kind
a
of
nice
ties it
touch.
all nicely together.
Yeah.
Can I read you guys this thing? And it's kind of I don't know if it's a riddle, but would you like to hear it?
Let's hear it.
Yeah.
All right. So the original script, this is some guy on Letterboxd. He wrote this fucking holy shit. It's a huge article on his
Senior.
ideas of what came from the movie. And it's actually a really interesting read. I could send you guys the whole review, but it says the original script says that Pulp Fiction is really three stories about one story. Rumors abound that there was a window left open in the production for a fourth tale. But for some reason, the studio head got rid of the last story. Now, to figure out who the last story was supposed to be about, you have to look at the first three stories in the order in which they appeared in the film. Story 1. Vincent and Mia. Vincent is given a challenge of saving Mia. He does it, but he fails to save himself, in that he only did it to save himself. The irony. One of the key moments in the story is the appearance on stage and they try to win an award. Story number 2. Butch, a struggling boxer, sees an opportunity, goes for the money, thinks that'll be his salvation, but even though he has saved himself, realizes he cannot save himself unless he saves his worst enemy, who becomes his friend. And story number 3. You can see the frenzy in Jules' eyes gives way to the realization of what he is doing. But even so, he doesn't fully learn what he's doing until he sees the wolf in action and realizes that if he does not follow the wolf's example, Monster Joe will be hiding 2 bodies. Now answer these 3 questions about each of the stories in the entertainment world. Story number 1. What kind of award is won on performance on stage? Anybody?
What is the question again? Give me up.
What kind of award is won for a performance on stage?
Like best actor? Is that what you're like in real
Or
life?
you mean like a play?
Sure.
I mean, I don't know. I guess it's like
What award is won?
I don't know.
Okay. Well,
I can
keep that
Google
in the
it.
back of
I
your
don't
mind.
know.
Yeah,
Keep that in the back of your mind. Story number 2 asks this question: what is the tale of a boxer who finds redemption and meaning by becoming in the place he didn't expect it?
I don't know too many boxing movies, but I'm Rocky,
Rocky, yeah.
or
Easy.
like
There you go,
Warrior.
okay.
Yeah,
Rocky. Which genre of movie would have a wolf and a monster disposing of bodies?
Fantasy.
Horror?
Yes. So rumor has it, Marcellus Wallace threw Tony Rocky Horror out of a 4-story window. That's the 4th story that was thrown out of production.
What?
Tony is the one you weren't on stage. I don't know. That was
Yeah.
just fun.
Gotcha.
Rocky Horror.
That's the 4th story.
Gotcha.
Too deep. Too many levels.
Yeah. Layers on layers.
I was reading that guy's review, and like I said, it goes on forever. And then you finally get to that last part, and I'm like, all right, this was worth the read. So
Wow.
I just really like that one.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Holy shit. I wonder if Tarantino ever like read that and was just like, what? You know?
Yeah. You read that? It was like all part of the plan.
Yes.
I'm that good
Yeah.
at that. It just like inflated his ego. He was
Finally,
there.
someone gets it.
Yeah. True film artiller.
Yeah, so that was good payoff for me. Great,
Nice.
great review.
That was fun.
Decent.
Yeah. I mean, great movie. Great fucking
It is.
movie.
Yeah, I bumped it up. It was 4.5 on first watch. And in reality, it was probably 4 just because of the confusion of my first watch through. But yeah, 5. This one I was like, fuck. I'm with you. Like I'm with you, Alex. I'll be watching this one over again just to pull more and just to because I know I'll have a good time. Like
I love showing it to new people too. Like when Labor Day weekend, I was at a bachelor party, and one of the things that the bachelor wanted to watch was Pulp Fiction and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So we started with Pulp Fiction, and it's just fun to like. There was 3 dudes there that hadn't seen it, and like laughing with everybody at certain things where I would just I don't know be by myself laughing. It's more fun and kind of exciting that way, and being in those moments like when Marcellus sees Butch in the car and he said motherfucker and everybody just busts up laughing,
good.
or the Gimp's part where it's just like what the fuck is happening. It's just
Yeah.
it's great to experience with new audiences, so I love it.
I could see that. If this ever is in a theater like showing,
Oh,
I
yeah.
would oh man, I would eat that shit up just to see it with like a crowd, and again like maybe with people who haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Nice. Well, next week, I think Alex is the only one that's seen this one. Most people probably haven't seen it. So Jackie Brown should be a fun talk.
This is the only Tarantino movie I've only seen once, so
Nice.
All right.
That'd be a good
Yeah.
good time to just watch it for you then too. It'll all come kind of
Yeah.
fresh.